Okay. Okay, we'll want to start today's Commissioners meeting with Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning.
Well, you survived graduation and got through all that.
I did. I had the best Mother's Day gift ever. Jeff got Emmy and Reagan together and they went out and tore down Riverside before us moms could get out there and do it.
Well, that was nice. Morning, Karen.
stuff.
Did you find another driver for your transportation van?
I had one apply, but after talking to her, it was false. And I'm really good idea.
Warm up. There ain't very much fuel. Shit. Google Play.
Why does EMS have Google Play?
There was something else we questioned him on, and he said, yeah, it's, I don't know. When are you gonna have to leave?
I've got court at 8:30, and then I'll come back down, and then 9, come back down, and then 10.
We need to do an executive session sometime, and I'd like you to be there.
Okay. Thank you. Yep.
What is that Alice training?
It's kind of the new standard for active shooters inside schools, churches, that type of thing. Cody's now an instructor for that, and he wanted some input from somebody from the school, so I think Seth Swihart went to the training also. But they're going to start their Alice training sometime pretty soon. He would like to do, of course, the schools and churches if they're interested, hospital, nursing home, anybody with a large amount of employees or people in a building. But it's just kind of the new standard or training for active shooters.
So, who's that, Seth?
I didn't realize that we were going to pay for it, but apparently we did. But I knew there was going to be one person from the school.
Did we get the ambulance back?
I do not know.
The one from North Platte, yeah. Well, he said he went and got it. He also said he didn't know there was anything wrong with it. So, I guess he couldn't hear them making noise or whatever they was worried about.
Okay, can I have a motion to go ahead and approve the payroll and accounts payable along with the minutes from 3/16 of 18?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Leslie, I hear you got a few minutes.
Okay. The first thing I want to address is the NRP program. In the plan itself, there was some confusion in regards to the definition of delinquent taxes because nowhere is there like one set date. We contacted several counties to see what they were doing in regards to the program, and so felt it was probably the appropriate thing to do to put an actual definition of delinquent taxes in that plan. And this definition is to be used only in the NRP program. And basically what it is that if there are any ad valorem property taxes that remain due and owing after the May 10th deadline, then the taxes are deemed delinquent and they are not eligible for the rebate.
Okay, so
So-
May 10th is the day that...
Right. Anything that remains delinquent after that date, then that disqualifies them from the program. We just wanted to make it clear. And so I prepared a resolution for your review and approval that would add that definition to the plan. I would ask that you review and decide.
Okay, it's resolution 18. Wait till we get a number on it.
Sorry about that.
May I write on this? Okay, now I have a motion to go ahead and approve resolution 18-09, which is the definition for the delinquent tax ad valorem property taxes that remain due after owing after a May 10th deadline.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed, same sign. So has there never been a deadline in the past? It was just,
Well, they never had really run into any issues in regards to delinquent taxes. However, we've had a few of them come up, and after reviewing the plan, the written plan, it was like, okay, well, what is the definition of a delinquent tax for this program? So that's why we started looking into it so that it was definite.
yeah, makes sense.
The next thing that I have is in regards to the assisted living and nursing home lease agreement. I've been in contact with John Grace, who has been hired as the consultant for this project. The commissioners had approved that we pursue the leased structure and the managed structure. I had some questions in regards to the managed structure, and in regards to that structure, after visiting with John Grace, the commissioners would in fact have to create a 501c3. They would have to fund that 501c3. They would have to come up with the startup money. I had John throw some numbers together in regards to what a ballpark figure would be. And this figure includes if we were to have to buy the furniture, fixtures, and equipment. It's around $741,000. And so he has gone ahead and developed an RFP.
For both.
He included them both within the same, because since we have to go with the 501c3, it'll be the same companies or agencies that would be applying for both. So in the draft RFP that I'll be taking to the task force for review, he went ahead and included both of those structures. But I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that, yes, if you go with the managed structure, then you're going to be footing the bill, basically, to get it up and going.
And it'd be our responsibility to oversee it. And to
Right. Well, you could develop a board that would oversee, and you'd have the management company too. However, in regards to the startup, furnishing, food, equipment,
yeah. And I'm sure there's more hidden gems out there.
there could be. But I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure that I understood what that structure was and what the cost associated with that might be. And just wanted to make sure that you guys were informed as to those. So I'll take this information to the next task force meeting where we can discuss further the RFP and try and get that out as soon as possible.
Okay.
And I believe that's all I have, and I need to get upstairs.
All right. Thank you, Leslie. Okay. Old business.
The west doors,
Downstairs.
these won't, not the handicap ones.
Okay.
We have problems with them on windy days. They are blowing open, and then we have to lock them up. Shelley's had a new closure put on it. Hasn't worked. Someone opens this front door, it pops that west door open. I don't know, it's, bring it up to you whether we just use that as an exit only.
So you're talking about just leaving one side of the double door open or
Both sides, the double door closed.
closed, and then
Just
making
having
them
the handicap.
go out the one exit? I don't think too many people use the stairs on the west side, do they? Most of them come in that.
I really don't know, but it's gonna break that door again. They've had the glass shatter in it a few times, so.
Is she, on windy days, she's just locking it now, and then calm days, she's unlocking it?
Pretty much, but some days, you know, it's calm when she gets to work and
Yeah.
then the wind starts blowing or. We spent $300-400 on a brand new closure and it didn't fix the problem.
Well, we definitely don't want to pay for another door. It's signed, use the other door or something like that?
She has one that she hangs on the, because just one side of it, I think, is out to get in, but.
So I'm confused. I guess I don't know if I've ever been out those doors. What?
It's the west doors that go down the steps.
Not the handicap doors, the other doors on the west side.
Okay.
the ones that are up a little bit. I know that it's been a problem in the past when the wind blows from the south, especially southwest, it'll catch that one door and slam it open. And we've had to replace it, like you said, once.
So they could be locked from the outside, yet you could get out of
They'd
it.
be exit only.
But then the handicap doors there, you can get in and out.
Yes,
Correct.
Well, I don't see a problem with
I
locking.
don't either. We kind of keep the fire marshal and their rules.
As long as you can get out of it.
I think as long as you can exit, I think we're fine.
I would think so, but
Yeah.
Which they've
Yeah.
got the.
Yeah, the push bar.
To get out.
I think we just lock it up until we come with another solution to keep that thing. I'll talk to Shelley later and see what's going on for sure.
And the sheriff department had, they bid the doors, the lock system over from Next Tech on the new sheriff building. And since there's stuff in place, I had them bid the front door to see what, that they could, it would put right into the system that we have it would just cost us $95 a month, and we'd be able to lock that door down, and it automatically lock at 5 o'clock, and we would unlock it at a certain time. All the stuff's in place, they just have to run some wires, and the only thing that they showed was $95 a month it would cost us to.
I think that's reasonable for the system they have.
The system's already in place,
Yeah.
it's just running a few wires to it.
Yeah. Guys got any trouble with that? Okay. Guess that takes us to correspondence and information.
Several NRP rebates.
Okay.
is there a chance I can go back to Leslie's deal for a minute? I was a little confused. This facility won't be furnished when it's done?
Well, it all depends. She's talking about a managed versus a leased. If the leasee, gets the contract, they manage the whole facility. If we try to manage it, we're going to be responsible for all that.
And we gotta come up with all the furnishings.
So, Good Sam, who owns the stuff up there?
Well, that's a pretty good question.
Because we're paying for everything that has to be replaced up there.
That's a pretty good
So
question. I don't know if we have an
what-
answer to it. The thing we want to avoid is paying $700,000 to go with a managed facility, and then we're still responsible to manage the place. And the only way you could really do that is to form a board that oversees it, similar to the hospital board. But this board would actually oversee the day-to-day operations of the facility.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that's the direction we want to
No,
go.
I don't either.
I
Well, I just figured that thing, I figured it would be completely finished and furnished at the end of the $5 million.
yeah, well,
It's not.
no. It's not going to be. We're just talking about our discussion between leased and managed positions.
Well, they're getting furniture and stuff put together
Yeah.
with those tax rebates.
Well, I've always wondered
I
this.
don't know what all other equipment stuff.
Here's just a hypothetical question. If we get another management or lease company in here to manage let's say the present Good Samaritan Village, all the furnishings and the beds and the equipment and towels and sheets, do they belong to Good Sam or do they belong to us?
I'd have to look at the agreement again, because I know it does address that. But I can't remember right off the top of my
Yeah,
head.
I don't know either. I've wondered that ever since the talk has come up about possible
I
changing.
guess we need to find out, because I think we've replaced a freezer in there.
I'm inclined to
That's-
say that
that
the
we own.
county does. But until I verify that through the lease agreement.
Yeah, because what I'd be afraid of is overlooking that little fine detail, and then having to come up with all kinds of new equipment and beds and all that. I don't want to go down that road. Okay. Oh, rebates.
Big ones.
Yeah.
It says Crop Productions.
They're Portland City.
Is that,
Right, yeah.
well, yeah. They keep put up a new building or something.
Silver Wings Aviation, I think so it's called. Okay, do I have a
This is a tax rebates for new buildings and
revitalization, improvements to their property? And I don't know how long the process is, but they gotta sign up for it, and then
10 years. Is it 10 years?
and then they get so much deducted off their taxes over a period of time.
The
so they're
amount,
not getting all this at once.
These they will.
yeah. The deduction gets smaller
And that goes down
as years
every
go
year.
on. Like the first year, I think they get all of it or close to all of it, and then it drops down a percentage. I think it's-
Okay, do we hear a motion to go ahead and approve the neighborhood revitalization plans for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of property in Cheyenne County?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed, same sign.
So that total amount doesn't come off in 1 year then, or it does?
I think that's totally altogether over the course of 5 years or 10 years or whatever the program was. The way I understand it. Okay. Election equipment.
I would like permission to purchase some election equipment. I have tried to get a second quote from ES&S. They will not call me back. And after talking to some people down in my clerk's meeting, they probably won't unless you're a big enough county. I do have a quote from Election Source. It's for 2 tabulators and 2 ADA touchscreen systems. It'd be one for Bird City and one for here at Saney. The tabulators, they fill out their ballot, they put it in this, it looks like a big trash can. It goes into it, feeds it in, it records what they voted, how they voted.
And that's done at the time you vote.
Right, it's counted right there, and it prints out paper. Well, we're the only thing, I'd say we're the only county that hand counts anymore. And the last year, as a small election, we had trouble finding enough people to do this.
Now, is this tabulator, is that going to be official? I mean, we don't have to come back and recount it.
They're coming up this, at my meeting, you'll have to do, they'll choose one or 2 precincts that you'll have to audit, which means you'll have to hand count. They pick that after the election, but yeah, it prints out the official results. If there's somebody that will write in, it kicks it into a separate thing and you'll have to hand count that. But it'll eliminate probably 6 people at each location.
It's kind of standardized across Kansas. Pretty much all the counties are doing this.
Shelley in Thomas County, she has this equipment. Like she's the closest one.
What's the cost?
For those 2, the tabulators and then the 2 ADA touchscreens, it's $16,000.
You got that in your budget?
I've got it in. I have $15,000 right now in equipment reserve. If you transfer at audit time, I'll have $39,000. There's also, and I don't have to do it. They're poll pads, electronic poll books. They're basically iPads that has the voting list on there. They just sign with their finger or pen. With the ADA, they have these, they look like a credit card. You either have to have these poll pads or you have to have 2 laptops. Because when these people that use the ADA, they need to, it selects what ballot they need on this card, and then they plug it into the ADA machine, and it.
The card, is it issued by what, state of Kansas or you guys?
What's that?
The card? They have to have a
Yeah, it
special
just
card?
encodes a card.
So you do that here?
Well, no, they do it at the election place, polling place.
Okay.
Like you came in, they would enter you in, it would encode what ballot you want on that card. You take it over to the ADA machine, plug it in, it brings up that ballot. It's touch screen, and then it prints out a ballot of what you selected. And they say you'll probably be buying more of those ADA machines because younger people like them. They're, faster. You don't have to circle anything, and you just pick it.
More gizmos.
Yeah.
The 2 poll books and the printers or the encoders and 2 printers for it is $6,400. I mean, we can go with 2 laptops, I mean, I've got this one, I could probably come up with another one, but we still have to have those encoders.
I'm not in favor, but
How much,
I know it's the kind of thing.
how much time and effort would this, you talked about 6 people. Would it eliminate most of those positions?
The 2 tabulators, yeah, it eliminates them altogether. Plus, we can use one for advanced voting and run those through it too.
What scares me is we're gonna do this and then in 2 years they're outdated and we'll have to buy new ones.
Yeah, but you know, it's always tougher if you start behind the 8 ball. This is technology we probably should have had already in place.
And the 280, well, we've got 5 of them actually, ADA machines. They're so outdated. They're hardly used anymore. And they're a real pain to use.
So in the long run, this would make it easier on the voters and you and us. Yeah, I can see that if we're saving man hours and time and effort, I don't have a problem.
As long as we got the money to pay for it, that's the bottom line.
And they will split it up and do 2 or 3 annual payments.
That's part of what we do.
That's what I do though, if they're outdated, quit paying for them.
And all this equipment's approved by this
State.
state.
So what's the total dollars?
6,400 for the pull pads and the encoders, and then 16,000 for the 2 tabulators and ADA machines. Be $22,400, which we could make payments. I mean, we wouldn't have to pay it all in 1 year. They give you an option of 1, 2, or 3 years.
7,400 short if he pays it off in one shot. Over the course of 2 years, he should have.
Probably have interest on it though.
Always. It's the American way, isn't it?
So when is your next election?
August.
So you got a primary in August and need some help here, guys. I mean, I think it's something we're gonna have to go do eventually anyway.
Well, that's kind of where I'm at. I think it's something that's coming. If we don't do it now, you're going to have to do it
Well,
next year or something.
I'm kind of under the impression we're behind already. I mean,
Well, yeah, but with technology, like Roger says, how we're never going to catch up anyway. As soon as you get something, they got something now.
yeah.
I'll move we purchase the election equipment. Go on a 3-year payout.
Nice, second.
Okay, all those in favor of going ahead and approving the election equipment for the clerk's department? All those in favor?
To be paid out over 3 years.
To be paid over a 3-year period, if possible.
Aye.
Okay, all those opposed, same sign. All right.
The Marshall and Swift, Amanda's at a meeting today. She has visited with the appraiser that for Rollins and Sherman County. They have this Marshall and Swift cost guide that they use to classify different stuff. It's $1,000 to $1,100. They would like to split it between the three counties, which would cost Cheyenne County $300 to $400 instead of
So
us purchasing our own. It would save us money, and they could share this. It's not used a lot, but they need to have it on a few properties too.
yeah, I'm all for cooperation with other counties anytime we can do it. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, there's a couple of emails there that you.
$214.70, that ain't a bad price.
Can't Rollins and Sherman County buy it and we borrow it?
You can call them and ask them. What would you say if they called you to ask you that?
They'd probably charge $214.70 to rent it.
Well, I'm telling you this.
If we vote on 3 different days, we could all use the same election equipment.
Yeah, maybe we should. I'll tell you what, I think that's a sign of the future. We're going to be sharing,
It's the only way out of this.
yes, and all the counties around here know that.
If we don't work together on landfills and work together on
Just about anything.
anything, but
So this is a year to year? Is that what I'm reading?
That's the way I took it.
They did not ask that.
300 to 400 a year.
Because every time they update their database, they're going to have to.
So I guess it's better than $1,000 to $1,100.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, can I get
How
a,
were we getting along before? I mean,
Yeah, I don't.
I don't know. If you want to, we can table this until we can speak to Amanda at the next meeting. I don't think there's any big rush in this. You want a little more
it
information?
just says they got some properties How have we been doing it without it? You know what I mean?
Could have been done it wrong, I mean, I don't know.
Let's table this until we can ask Amanda some questions about it. Does that sound appropriate?
And then I've got a meeting May 24th. It's a CIC meeting. It's in Salina for the June certification and July abstract. And tomorrow is the budget meeting in Colby
Go.
with the state.
What time's that start?
I'll have to find the papers, but I think
I'm
it's
sure I wrote it down.
9 o'clock. And probably take separate cars because I'm going to leave there and go to Hayes for my meeting Thursday in Plainville for transportation.
Okay, if you just give me the time, I'll,
Yeah, I'll find the info.
because I'm so good at writing myself notes. I've got it on there, but not a time. Okay. Anything else?
The only thing else I have, Jeff brought this down yesterday, Good Samaritan. They had a pump, I think on their hot water system or something, no bad. McClure's and Colby put a new one in. They didn't test it before they left, and so it didn't work. They had to come back and found out that it was wired wrong from the factory, so they wired it right. Jeff doesn't think we need to be paying for that second trip, plus they're charging us late fees now, finance charges now. He's just wondering what to do. Leaving it up to you on.
I'd pass it right on down the table. We'll get this resolved in a little bit.
And the guy, he's tried several times, the guy will not call him back.
Yeah.
But then he says he doesn't want to make him mad because they're about the only place to work on that stuff.
So,
Well, yeah, but the guy should have warned you he's working his equipment when he come up the first time.
I guess my question is, why didn't we see this sooner? It's dated 12/27/17. Because now we're paying $11.28 in late fees.
Is that one of that deal where it keeps the water audit that
It's a circulation pump. That's what I was searching for.
we've been talking about that off and on, that water?
Yeah, I think he's
audit?
brought it up before, but
Kind of aggravating, because you'd think if it was rewired wrong, or wired wrong, that outfit ought to be going back to the company they bought the pump from.
well, I think those pumps, they can be wired for 220 and 110, 220 and 440, whatever it is. I mean, there's different ways that they can be wired to run.
Well, or it might have been running backwards. You can rewire them so they'll run the other way too.
So anyways, it's really a legitimate bill.
Yeah, it's working. He was protesting the
Late charges, I'm
the
assuming.
labor and mileage for him to come back and fix what should have been caught if they would have tested it when they were there the first time.
Any comments, Leslie?
Well, I mean, it stands to reason that if it wasn't functioning properly when they were there and they didn't test it while they were there, then I think we, in good faith, can go to them and discuss this billing. I guess one of my questions is this the total bill or is this the second bill?
Well, the 288, I think, was the original bill.
For just installation or pump and everything?
That sounds pretty cheap for a new pump.
Sounds pretty cheap for a pump.
And maybe we've already paid for the pump. Because now that you say that, he has been talking about it for...
Well, the original bill was paid. This all you guys are talking about here is $305. I understand the principle of it. I'll leave it up to you guys. If you want me to visit with them in regards to the $305.38 bill, I will do so.
I would like to hear the company's side of this,
Okay.
I think. And again, I agree with Jeff. We don't want to insult them or make them mad. We just want a better explanation of how this went down. Would you be willing to make a phone call and,
I can actually go there.
yeah, just say, hey, we don't understand.
Exactly.
She's meaner in person.
She might get further than Jeff, who knows?
So
Okay,
I can take that.
We'll leave that with Leslie for now.
Okay.
Thank you. Gonna take a 5-minute break.